Hello everyone, welcome back to Sajabana channel. So today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough and just show you how you can use a couple of AI tools. Some are free, some have limited daily use, but you can extend them with subscriptions. But I'm going to show you how you can use them to kind of collaborate with AI and make your own music. Now, I'm going to keep the collaboration to a minimum today to keep the process quick and make the video as short as possible. So I want to start here with DeepSeek. So deepseek.com, it's like a chat GPT kind of it's got a reasoning model. You can have like a conversation with it. So this is where I start. The other tools I'm going to show you that generate the audio, the actual music, can do lyrics. But I like to use DeepSeek for the lyrics generation and that part because I can have a back and forth conversation with it. So let me start with a little bit of a template here. I'll copy paste from my other screen. So I I'll just start with this template. I'll paste this here. So I'm gonna basically ask it to write me a parody of, right, and I'll give it the song name here in a second. I'll say make sure 4 verses with bridges, choruses, intro, outro, and give me the song formatted for Suno AI with a style prompt of less than or equal to 200 characters because that's the limitation. I'll say avoid mentioning the artist or band names in the style prompt because it will do that if you don't tell it. But Suno AI won't let you mention band names or artist names. Then I'll say keep the music style as close to the parody's original as possible. And then also generate tags, hashtags, and description for like a YouTube post, right? So that's like the template. So let's just start with, then let's modify this to the top and just say, I want to write a parody of, let's pick a popular song that's kind of recognizable. Maybe here, Call Me Maybe. And I'm a big nerd, so I like to do a lot of um, like workplace humor, tech humor, kind of geek nerd humor. And then, so I've been doing a lot of that lately, playing around with music just for the fun of it, to see what it could do too. So write me a parody of Call Me Maybe, and I'll just say titled uh, Teams Call Me Maybe, right? And I could leave it there and it'll give me something, or you could say make it about um, someone requesting. Oops, I gotta get this pop up here. Someone requesting a coworker call them in Teams to hash out a work related issue. So let's leave it at that. Let's press enter. Okay, so the AI will do its thing here, and it'll take a minute to think, assuming it doesn't time out right now. And there we go. So now it's kind of giving us the chain of thought, which interesting topic on AI. Sometimes these chain of thoughts are funny because the AI will come up with the end answer a lot of times and then work its way backwards to provide you the chain of thought. So the chain of thought isn't literally like a stream of consciousness, like some people might think it is nowadays, but it is it's kind of interesting how all that works. Totally different topic, but something to chat about for a few seconds to fill the air while it does its thing and types this all out one word at a time for us in blocks. You see here, it's like building the song, it's thinking about it, whatever, or at least it's making you think it's thinking about it, but it's just doing it. So we'll wait for it to give us a final kind of end result here, and then we'll just do some copy pasting. And no, sometimes though, what I would do is have that collaboration piece. I'll proofread the lyrics, go through what it's producing, and I might tell it in the next prompt, I want to change the first verse, or I want to reword the chorus, or I want to swap out this word or this concept for another word or concept. Let's make it more emotional, make it more child friendly, let's make it more edgy, right? You could just give it those kind of comments and have a back and forth conversation for it, and it'll rewrite the lyrics after it gives you the first take on it. You can do the have that kind of back and forth and mold it to what you want without having to do all of the heavy lifting by yourself. And that's where the whole concept of AI collaboration versus simply AI generation comes into play as far as the the use of that terminology, right? I'm not The AI isn't just doing it for me. I'm still the one who's kind of providing it the initial idea, the concept I want, and I can kind of be like the producer or the editor and tell it, no, I don't like what you gave me. Let's change this part. Let's change that part. That can still be fun. It's a good creative outlet, which is why I've been enjoying doing this in my spare time. Anyways, here we go. Here comes out the lyrics. So it's finally done with all its reasoning and it's outputting a song for me. So we'll give it in a second here for it to type out the song or the song lyrics. And now, since I told it to do a parody, it will try to keep the structure of the song, the parts that repeat and some of that stuff, it'll try and keep it close to the original. Now, the tools we use, you can make the song sound a lot more like a cover song, cover parody, but we're not going to go for that close of a match. It's more like I'm using the idea of a parody and giving it an original song name to start with. It's just like a launching point and maybe something to give it something relatable so that, it's a little bit recognizable. I'm not gonna try and go for, a perfect match here. So I'm gonna start by copy pasting this lyric, and I'm gonna go to Suno AI. That's a song I was working on here, Suno AI. Let's just do something new. I'll just copy paste over those lyrics, and then I'll grab the style prompt, which is basically, describing the style of the music and everything. We'll copy paste the style prompt, and then the title, which really doesn't affect how the song comes out necessarily when it comes to Suno. And I'll put in some dumpster fire. I'll put in the title. So now I got the title. There's a little more you can play with here, but just to begin, make this quick, I'll hit create. So as soon as I hit create, it uses credits. So Suno AI, you get so many, free credits a day basically, or free credits a month. But you can subscribe, and if you pay like $10 a month, you get a good number of credits. Um, and the nice thing about this is if you have the paid subscription, whatever you generate while you have a paid subscription, you own it, right? So you can monetize it. You can sell it, you can create an album, put it whatever, from my understanding. Consult with a lawyer if you're really that concerned. But if you have a paid subscription to Suno, you're paying to use it, you own the product that comes out of it. If you're just using the free tier, then I think you have like free use or whatever of it, but you can't really monetize what you create under the free tier. Free tools, you don't own the product. Paid tools, you own the product, and that's pretty much the different, the where that line is. Um, anyways, you can see here the song is here. I can actually start to preview it and listen to it early. But until the time comes up, it's not actually technically done. So there's some other stuff here. You can give it feedback. I like the song. I don't. You can make it public on Suno. People can leave comments. You can share a link to it. And then if you use this last menu here, you can get into the song editor. So you just change the details. You can crop it to shorten it, replace a section. You can also add like a fade if you want to fade out at a certain point. Those kind of things. You can do a cover of it once it's done to like regenerate it using the same prompt basically, but and keeping some of the same style a bit. Some of the stuff you do here, you can share the link again. You can download the MP3. If you download the video, it will have the lyrics in it, and you can just post it like straight to YouTube, which is kind of fun and quick and easy. If you do a report and you say there's a bug, like say it doesn't read the lyrics correctly, you can get your credits back after they review it, things like that. So, anyways, let's listen. Let's just preview the song. So, right, I really didn't proofread the lyrics, so we'll see how that comes out. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but so you see just a couple minutes of effort. We took an idea, put it into DeepSeek, gave it some guidelines, it gave us lyrics back, we took those outputs, the lyrics and the style, and we put it into Suno, and we just hit create and wait a few seconds or a minute, and now we have a song, right? And the vocals don't sound like a computer. The music doesn't sound necessarily canned and stuff. So it's pretty cool how quick and easy you can take something, an idea or a concept, and make it, right? So another tool, I'll just go ahead and pause this. Now it always gives you two copies. Unless you think you get like the pro tier, you can get like 10 copies. But it always gives you these two variations and takes like 10 credits to make two variations of a song. And that way you can kind of see like two different outcomes for the same inputs, and you can compare them, see which one you like better, right? Um, so there's that. Uh, Even when you do like a replace section, right? When you do an edit and replace a section, it'll generate two replacements, right? If you extend a song to make it longer, it'll give you two extensions, and you basically pick which one you like, and then that's what you move forward with. So let's look at Riffusion. Riffusion is newer. It is in beta, but it works pretty much the same way. So let's see here. So the interface is a little different, but still. So you hit here, you got compose. If you do prompt, it'll generate the lyrics and everything for you, but you can't have that back and forth with it. So if I hit compose, I can go over here. Let's just take the same lyrics, all the same information, put it in this one. Even though technically this song is structured for Suno AI, Riffusion usually will take it. Um, and what I like about Riffusion is sometimes it actually comes out a little bit better, the audio quality, I believe. There's a few things it does, Suno doesn't, a couple things Suno does that Riffusion doesn't. But that's just the nature of different tools, right? They all have their stuff in common because they're competitors, basically, but then they have their unique features and standout features. So but just note of caution, Riffusion is in beta right now. It's completely free, unlimited. There's no credits, there's no paid tiers, but you don't own what you create. So if you want to make stuff for just fun, you want to, just share it because you want to share it, that's fine. But if you make it in Riffusion, don't plan to monetize it, right? Because until they come up with a pay tier and they allow that kind of thing, you technically, legally, don't own the full rights to whatever you create in Riffusion. So anyway, so you just put in the lyrics, put in the sound instead of the style. They just call it the sound, and then put in the details as the title, and hit generate. Um, Now, Riffusion also has some nice things. In Suno AI, they're called personas, which is like if you really like the vocals and like the sound of the band, that virtual band it creates, you can basically save that and it's reusable. And it's got a little more behind it than just the style, right? It's the style plus whatever it filled in for you to complete the puzzle. And you can save that and reuse it so that you can basically make a bunch of songs that sound like they came out of the same band. uh, in Riffusion, it's called a vibe, right? So in Suno, you have personas, and in Riffusion, you have a vibe. You can save the vibe and reuse it. So let's see what the teams call me maybe sounds like in Suno or Riffusion. I mean, so you go. Right, so there's one version. See slightly different variation. The lyrics will be the same because they're just typed out. Now, interesting thing, if you don't provide the lyrics and you just give it a prompt, if you don't give it like a style and you don't give it the lyrics, you just give it a prompt, kind of like I did in DeepSeek, it will generate two different music styles. So they'll vary more greatly, and it will generate two different sets of lyrics. They'll fit the premise, but they'll be different, right? So, if you want more variation, just use the prompt here and you get songs that vary more greatly. Versus if I give it the style and I give it the lyrics, the songs will be different, but they'll still fit the same style. They'll still fit the lyrics almost exactly. So anyways, that is kind of the process for creating the lyrics using DeepSeek and one A platform. You could use ChatGPT and other ones just as easily, and using at least two different music AIs here just to show you two different options for generating songs. So you can have fun creating your own music, create a birthday song for someone. If you want to start just as a creative outlet, just creating things, have at it, do it. It's fun and it's interesting. I know when I create the parodies and stuff, sometimes I'm giggling, laughing to myself, having a great time seeing what the outputs are. Yeah. Anyways, that's my final notes on that. So this is Sajabana. Have fun enjoying your creative outlets using DeepSeek, Suno, or Fusion. Create some music, and if you do, please feel free to share in the comments a link to your songs or something. I would be happy to check them out. And if you want to check my stuff out, I have some playlists on my channel for AI created content for music right now. A lot of tech parodies in one playlist, and then another for multicultural kind of Filipino American stuff because my wife is Filipino and I'm American, and then some kids learning stuff to teach children, English speaking children specifically, small phrases and words in Tagalog, which I created for my kids so that I could help them in liquid, child's song kind of format, learn some basic Tagalog words, because so they can communicate better with their family on overseas. So, anyways, this is Sajabana. Have fun creating your AI generated content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and share your songs. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, Sajabana signing off.